Hello. We are on Whole30 Days 3 and 4. I'm doing these videos because I generally try to eat Whole30 most of the time. It's a really good way, especially for people my age, who have like cholesterol issues and things like that. And try to switch over to more less processed type meal. Anyway, so for our starch, we're going to go back to the roasted red potatoes. So I'm going to show you those. Veg, we're doing the zucchini. We're doing mushrooms and onions. Okay, so we did that the other day. I think we had yellow squash in there too, but we don't have yellow squash. That's fine. But for our protein, the other day we did burgers. Okay, so we're going to do veal chops today. I'm sorry, not veal chops, pork chops today. Pork loin chops. And we're going to go ahead and saute them, and we're going to cook them. We're going to sear them on both sides, and then we're going to stick them in the oven to finish them off. It should probably take about 20 minutes, really not that long. This entire meal is really not going to take us very long. Potatoes, I've already thrown them in the oven. They're just, potatoes are potatoes. They just take it. So what I'll probably do tomorrow for days 5 and 6 is I will switch over to a Whole30 compliant Duchess potato that I make, and switch over to eggplant and fennel for the veg. And of course, we'll add mushrooms and onions in there with that as well. And then I think for our protein, we will probably either do a chicken breast or tuna steak. So one or the other, or maybe even salmon. I'll pick one of the three. So I got these pork loin chops at Trader Joe's. I love going to Trader Joe's. One of my favorite places to visit. I've got my pan nice and hot. It is really, really hot. All right, so we're gonna turn that down just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and season my pork loin actually before I throw it in the pan. You can use whatever type of rub you want. I'm just gonna use this. It's one of my favorites. Of course, I've got salt and pepper here mixed together. So go ahead and hit it with some salt and pepper, just in the tray. Okay, it's not something that I'm trying to. I'm just gonna do that. Let that sit there for a few minutes. Put my oil in my pan, and then we're going to go ahead and throw these pork chops in there. Put a little bit of oil, make sure it's creeping. Okay, make sure it's creeping means it's the skillet's hot, and it's moving around. The oil's moving around. Make sure it covers everything. You're basically just searing these on each side, and then you're sticking the oven to finish. You can actually hear that. Alright, very easy to do, very Whole30 compliant. Let me grab my tongs real fast, alright. This is not a meal this is for me, basically. This is, obviously you can go to restaurants and get meals that are Whole30-ish. But, if I'm going to make a Whole30 meal, I'm generally going to make it at home, because I know I can trust what ingredients go into it. People put things in food all the time, and not 100% sure what's in it. So we're gonna hit it with some adobo sauce or seasoning, salt and pepper. If you want, you can even throw some garlic in there. I'm not going to. I think pork loin chops are amazing on their own. I've got my veg right here. That's something that I'm going to throw in the oven probably last, because it's, as you can see, it's very water dense, so it's going to cook quickly. So I don't have to worry about that. This, however, is going to take a minute. You got it whenever you're thinking about food and what types of things to cook. You always have to think about cooking times. What thing is going to take the longest? And that's where I start. That's the first thing I do. I did a cooking demo recently where I did a 4 or 5 course meal, and I actually made the dessert first. I did a creme brulee. Creme brulees from start to finish take a couple of hours. So I knew they were going to be there for a couple of hours, so I went ahead and knocked out the creme brulees, got them out of the oven, let them cool. Alright, so we're going to this thing is turned all the way up. Just going to move it around. I love pork chops. Like I said, you're going to get these nice, and I'll show you what they're supposed to look like. What a seared looks like. It's going to be a dark brown. Okay. I've got this thing turned all the way up. It's blasting. So take a look at our potatoes. roasted reds. All right, so there's my roasted red potatoes. They're cooking. You know, if you want, you can obviously flip them over at some point. You can get a good flip. Probably don't need it, but and they'll turn brown. What I'm going to do, just to save space, save oven space, is I'm actually, once I'm pretty close to being finished, I'm either going to pull these out completely or move these to the side and throw my vegetables in the same pan. There's no point. I mean, they're gonna go on the same plate, so no point. You know, when you're thinking about cooking, try to think about using less dishes. You know, try to use the minimal number of dishes possible. You know, if you're using a cutting board, all right, don't start with your protein cutting on board, because then you got to use a cutting board to keep crossing the table. But if you're cutting vegetables, and you sanitize your station or something like that, then you're gonna be in better shape. So here's what I really want right here. I want it to have that nice brown seared look on the side. I'm gonna flip them over. These are so good. Oh my goodness, these are so good. So this is what you're going for, something like that. I'm gonna get the other side. Probably gonna take about a minute or two, and I'm gonna throw them in this pan, and then I'm gonna put these in the oven. And that's going to finish off in the oven. And that's it. You know, that's going to be a meal. That's the way I like to eat Whole30. You know, I'm a simple guy. For breakfast, I generally, and I'll do a breakfast one here pretty soon. My breakfast is pretty easy. Scrambled eggs, Whole30 bacon, and some fruit, a couple fruits. That's usually, for lunch, I usually eat like a snack. You know, I usually like I'll take a snack like some raisins or a couple of pistachios, something like half a cup of pistachios. Not a full cup, that's a lot. And then for dinner, I'll eat a regular meal like this. And it's really nice. It's a really great way to eat because I'm not super hungry throughout the day. You know, cutting out my bread and things like that. You know, like I said, for people my age, you know, it's good to start thinking, you know, how am I going to eat healthy? All right. Anyway, thanks for joining us. So I'll post a picture of what this looks like when it comes out. It's going to be pretty simple, pretty basic, but it's going to be really good. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Have a good day.